switch over that way so you can see. Now this does change a bit where the DPS does go up depending on what mods that I want to change. But for right now, this is what I was running. So the primary DPS, as you can see, is 188, health is 105, and skill power is 18. Those are the three main components that are very important: the firearms number, the stamina number, and the electronics number. You got to remember, if you don't already know, that the smaller numbers are playing a major factor in what you can do in this game. With that said, what I did first starting out in this game was focus on health, stamina. Stamina was my key component. I knew my DPS would go up, and when I was starting out, I had more health than I did DPS. But I knew as I progressed and I got better equipment and I crafted better items, my DPS would go up. And it did. I started off with a lot of high-end, like a lot of people have. And if you haven't been able to get any gear sets and you only have, high-end stuff, there's nothing wrong with that. You can get similar stats, just like what I was running before I switched over to the gear sets, running the same stats, 100,000 health, 170, 180, 190 DPS, and high skill power as well, somewhere around 15, 16, 17. So, let me touch base on the vest. So the vest I'm currently rocking is a striker vest. This is the striker build. It's an assassin build overall, but I'm using the striker gear set. So this is a stamina vest. It's got 571 stamina and has a mod slot. I'll get into the mods in a moment. So my vest is stamina. I move over to my mask. I have a striker mask as well. That's also stamina, 580. Moving on to the knee pads, striker knee pads, stamina as well, 564, mod slot. Backpack, it's a striker's backpack, and this is going to be firearms. Now what I like about this is it has the firearms on it, and it does come with the mod slot, but the thing that I looked for the most is the major attribute was the plus 4,839 skill power. Now on my high-end vest that I had plus 4,000 and I think it was like 300 something skill power. So I wanted to keep that. I knew if I wanted to go from a high-end to a gear set backpack that I needed to make sure that I had more armor, which as you can see there it has 529, which is still pretty low. But it was more than what my high-end was packing. And that I didn't sacrifice that skill power that the backpack that I was using had. And so I made sure that I had that whenever I switched over to a new backpack. Relatively, that's what I do with all my gear. Now these gloves I've been rocking for a while because I just can't seem to find anything better. I can try to roll some gloves, some high-end gloves, but I won't be able to get that 584 stamina. So my gloves are stamina, and it comes with SMG damage, critical hit damage, and critical hit chance. It's really good. The support station, I couldn't do nothing with that. If I could change it, I definitely would change it. Now my holster. I'm still running a high-end holster because I have not found a better high-end holster. I haven't been able to craft a better one or get a gear set. Like I have this one, but as you can see it has no electronics and it has a no mod slot. So it's basically worthless to me. So I got lucky with this roll for this holster. It comes with a mod slot and it's got 574 stamina because it's a stamina holster. And then I put the mod slot on there to boost up the DPS, and it's got high electronics as well. So that's basically the gear of what I'm using at this moment. Now let's get into why having a mod slot is important. Now you can get 3 on your vest. I know you can get 2 on your mask. And you can get, I mean, God, I don't even know how high it goes to how many you can have it. I have to go look at it. But we get into it here. And if I go to my mods that I usually run, I craft my mods. Very rarely do I find any mods that are really good. So over the course of playing this game, I've been able to save a lot of these high-end firearm mods. So I've got one that's, 142 that comes with armor. So that's going to help my armor mitigation, which is a big factor in this build, is armor mitigation in any build for that matter. The higher your armor mitigation is, the less damage that you're going to take from NPCs or other players. But we'll get into that later. This one's got skill haste on it. Skill haste, signature ability, resource gain. This one comes with skill power. As you can see, just a ton of them. And I have stamina mods that are high too. But that's what's going to boost your DPS. That's what's going to get it up there. I don't know how people are running around the DZ with low health. Even I come in contact in PvP all the time with guys with glass cannon builds, and they struggle against me. The only thing that I've had trouble with in PvP, even running this build, was somebody in a group when I'm outnumbered running a Sentry Call set, or like a level 99 who's got an AUG that's got 14,000 base damage and 65% armor mitigation. Now, if I could get my armor mitigation up to 65%, I'd be rocking and rolling. Nobody could touch me. This build would be that good. So, let's go into the weapons that I'm using, and we'll get back to the armor set pieces, because your weapons also play a part in your gear score, but also play a part in your build. So right now, I'm rocking this AUG A3. It's got 10.6k base damage. It's got brutal, vicious, and meticulous. You can find this in the base of the operations. They're selling it there. I went ahead and picked one up. Now, I don't have brutal unlocked because my firearms number is not that high. But if I switch to my secondary build, my DPS is way over 200 and I got like 270, something like that. And my health is 95 on that build, so I'm still working on that build. I also like to use the converted SMG9. It's got 8,000 base damage, 8,800 you can see there. It's not that high. But it does come with Deadly, Provident, and Fierce. And it's a good gun too, and it's got a 64 round mag. I can get it up if I put good attachments on it, but right now, I leave it like that. So my second gun that I'm using is the First Wave Vector. Now, I bought this blueprint in DZ03. It comes with 10.4 damage. It doesn't have really good talents on it. This was the gun that I was using in the solo assassin video when I was outnumbered by those guys, and they were, people were asking me how it was, what kind of gun I was using. I was using this First Wave Vector. It's got destructive, it's got swift, and it's got restored on it. They're good things to have, I guess, but it's not like critical hit damage or critical hit chance, or brutal, deadly, or vicious, or anything like that. But I'm still trying to roll something, you know what I mean? I'm still trying to roll one that's got those talents on it. Those are the main guns that I use. I mean, I've got a First Wave M1A here that I use. That's alright. But most of the time I'm using the Vector, the converted SMG9, and the AUG. When I'm in the DZ, I run 2 primary SMGs. And then if I get low on ammo or get caught in a rogue fight or something like that, I might switch over to the AK. And it's okay. I mean, it's not nothing great. But I'm a primary SMG guy. Now, another thing that makes your build great and your stats up there is attachments. So all my great attachments are on my Vector right now, and I'll show you what they are. We got a flash hider on this one, and it does 21% accuracy and 30% critical hit damage. That's important. I got a PEQ 15 laser, and it does 36 hipfire accuracy and 21% accuracy. The magazine that I have on this one is actually 94% magazine size and 22% reloads. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not the right one. Okay, it's 102% magazine size, which is the max that you can get, and it's got a 26.5% rate of fire. So, I haven't been able to roll another mag just like this one. I wish I could, because I'd love to have this mag on every single one of my weapons. I've got a red dot sight on this one just because it gives me more damage. This one gives me higher DPS, but it's on my first wave, so of course I'm not going to take it off that. But you want to find out what are the best attachments for the weapons that you're using. And you want to buy those blueprints either in the DZ or in the base operations, and you want to be able to craft multiple ones. Because if you can keep crafting magazines, sights, laser sights, scopes, whatever, then you can duplicate and put them on the rest of your guns. Like what I'm running with my AUG here is another flash hider. Now it's a superior, but it's better than the high ends. And it's got 32% critical hit damage on it as well. Then another laser. Extended mag is a 93 with 27% rate of fire, just because I want to have that extra RPM on this gun. And a small RDS scope, which has critical hit chance and headshot damage. So your guns play an important part of what you can do and what your abilities are. And as you progress in this game, you will find that you will find better weapons, or you'll have an opportunity, depending on how much grinding you do, to either pick up a good drop or buy a blueprint or buy a weapon like I bought this AUG. Sidearm, not really a big deal. It's got 10.7k damage. It's got expert on it and fierce, which fierce is not unlocked because this is not a skill build. Nothing really great there. So let me go into my stash real quick. See if I can find I think this is the mask I was using before that has rehabilitated on it with a mod slot. I don't know if I've gotten rid of a lot of high-end stuff that I was rocking before the gear sets came out. Yeah. So I won't go into that. But like I was saying about the mods, the performance mods or the gear mods are going to be your bestest friend. Okay, so if you're running, if you want that high stamina to be tanky, but you also want to have high stats across the board. So a big part of this for people is the gear mods. That's all I craft. All I craft is just the gear mods. Now I've picked up the others just in case I might need to. But as you can see, they only go up to 128. This one only goes up to 128. This one only goes up to 128. This is the only one that goes up to 143. And this is what I use when I want to craft and see if I can get a better one. And I get, they come with that random bonus, either to be health or to be skill power. And it makes all the difference. With your attachments, buy the blueprints for your small RDS scope. Several of the different weapons that I have use this scope. And with the right rolls, it can make all the difference. Same thing with the muzzle brake. If I could roll a really good muzzle brake, I could put it on my Vector, I could put it on the AUG. Before I was running the Osprey 45 suppressor, that was boosting my DPS on my weapons as well. Extended mag. This is you just have to buy this. There's just there's no reason why you shouldn't have the extended mag blueprint in the base of operations. If you don't have it, you should go buy it. You definitely need it to try to roll and get rate of fire and the highest magazine capacity that you can. Flash hider. I want to roll more of these. Obviously, you see that's what I'm using right now. The PEQ 15 laser. That's what I'm using now, of course. So there's a lot of these that I can keep re-rolling and put on the guns that I have that don't have the best ones yet, or I could make one that's better. So it's very important. Now, when you're first starting out, like I said, you're not gonna. You say you can't get no gear sets. You've bought this, but they really don't make a difference. But if you're just starting out, because I'm trying to let you know that you can build this assassin build, and you don't have to have the gear sets to do it. Because I was already rocking an assassin build way before the gear sets came out. So I would use the stamina mask blueprint here, and I would just craft that, and I would get the max amount of stamina that I could, and the highest amount of armor that I could, and a gear mod slot. And that, there you go. So you got your stamina, you add your, gear mod for firearms, and you just make sure it's better than what you have. Anytime you start crafting, make sure that you're rolling something better than what you have. Don't sacrifice anything. You don't have to. So don't do it. Make sure that you're like, okay, I've got more armor on this, and I've got higher stamina, and I got a gear mod slot. My bonuses I can change, and I'll get into recalibration in a moment. That's important. If you are trying to go for these gear sets, and say you do have the Striker's Mask blueprint like I do right now, the highest you can get is 453, 2 random bonuses, or 3 random bonuses, or a mod slot. So I just basically just say 2 random bonuses and a mod slot. Guaranteed mod slot, you need to have it. I could re-roll this, but I decided, not to right now. It's not that important, but I do have a firearms mod on it that boosts my skill power as well. Same thing with the vest. I basically, you can get 3 mod slots. If you can get 3 mod slots on your vest, definitely do it, because that's just amazing if you can get that. I've never been able to get it. The most I've ever gotten was 2, but right now, I've got the Striker vest, and so it works. And I've got a mod slot on there that provides armor too. Backpack. I try to be the same. If I'm currently rocking something, and I want to go better, like say I just got this blueprint or something, and this one down here only goes up to 514, and this one goes up to 575, then I'd roll it, and I'd just make sure that it's better than what I have. And see how it says it, like on the one I have right now, it's got 4,839 skill power. If I rolled this and I didn't get any, I would make sure that I could go recalibrate it to get that skill power back, long as I wasn't lacking in any other area but that one, because you don't want to change what you have. And like I said, you can just go through the rest, and it's the same. It's the same all the way around the board. The other thing I was saying was weapons. So I've crafted a dozen of these first wave vectors to try to get something better with better stats. Or talents, I'm sorry. And just haven't had any luck yet, but I'm going to keep trying. The Vector 45 ACP is another good weapon too as well. I've rocked this weapon before I got the first wave, which I got at I got the blueprint in DZ3, I believe it was, the safe house at level 75 in the Dark Zone. But obviously if you're not there, then if you can pick this one up, it's another good one to have as well. The Navy MP5, I would love to use this gun, but the damage only goes up to 8.3, and obviously that's no good. And it just for some reason it never changes for me. So hopefully they'll come out with a new blueprint for that. Tactical AUG is another good one as well. Even if the gear score, like a lot of people are like, I gotta have the highest gear score. No, you don't. Basically, that's only for incursions. But if you're not playing the incursions, then it's basically what build you're rocking. That's what's most important. You could have 250 gear score, but if you've got 200k DPS and 30,000 health and 2,000 skill power, you're not going to be able to do really crap by yourself. You can run in a group, but you run the risk of it's just really bad. You know, I see a lot of people with high gear scores but don't have the stats to back it up. I rather have 160, 180 gear score and be able to tank and be able to dish out, you know, just as much punishment. So that's that's important. Now I wanted to get that AUG blueprint before this last rotation for the new blueprints in DZ3 because that AUG was just amazing, and people light me up with that AUG, and there's really just nothing I can do about it but just try to outmaneuver the best that I can. Hopefully it comes back around so I can get it, but I won't go off into that too much. So like I said, we'll move on to the recalibration here in a second.
Best gear in the city. Check it out.
Let's see, here's that AUG I was telling you about. Mine comes with 10.6k damage. Yours might vary. It just depends. It's 204 gear score. You know, it's really awesome. It's 814 Phoenix credits, and it comes with Brutal, Vicious, and Meticulous, like I said. The SOCOM M1A is a really good weapon, too, as well. The talents aren't all that great, but it's alright. It does its job. And then, of course, you've got all these blueprints that you can see here.
I'm sure I'll see you again.
So getting into the recalibration, and I'll show you an example. See, like I got this Sentry Call mask, and that's part of my Assassin build too, that I had to recalibrate because it gave me electronics, and I had to recalibrate it to stamina. But it comes with 2 mod slots, and that's it's impressive when I put it all together. On this one, I had to re-roll the Striker mask because I believe it came with either firearms or electronics. And I changed it over to stamina as well. It's just important to make those changes from what you have now to what you're going to go to, and try to get better. With this, my vest that I had before had health on it. Some people wouldn't recommend you having that much health. I do. If you want an assassin build, health is very important. So the vest I had before had a little bit less than this 2780, so I had to make sure that I could re-roll this to get at least matching, or if not better. Now I can go all the way up to 3022. So maybe one day when I have the money, because I done spent like $2 million already, I might, make it better. It just depends on. But that's just more ways that I can improve this build that I already have going right now. Like I said with this, I got this Striker's backpack. It came with firearms. I was happy with that. The skill power, I had to recalibrate it just to be able for it to be better than what I was already using. And I've got more wiggle room there to go up to the max. It's not even maxed out yet. So I can keep improving this build more than what it is right now. And that's what I like about pursuing an assassin build, because you're always getting better. You're never having to sacrifice anything. You can always go up. Same thing with the holster here. I had to make sure I got 3 great rolls, and I had to make sure that I took off either, I think it was armor or protection from elites, I think it was, and I put a gear mod slot on it. Very important. And of course, another set piece for me did not come with stamina, and had to put stamina on it. I got lucky that it came with a gear mod slot, so if it didn't, I wouldn't be using it right now. Like if it was an electronics knee pads and had no gear mod slot, I would be screwed, because I needed both. I need stamina and I need the gear mod. So I wouldn't have used it. So recalibrating your stuff does cost money. Be out there doing your daily missions, farm whatever missions, police academy, or anything that you need to. I got a video on that. To just get as much money as you can, because it is very important when you get a good piece and you know that you can change 1 or 2 things and make it, perfect for you. It's very important. So that's the recalibrating side of it. the gear mods, like I said, is one of the most important things. You pick up gear mods almost all the time in the DZ. Are they great? You know, half the time for me, no, they're not, because I roll mine. I've picked up a few here and there, but realistically, you want something around 140, 139, 138, 140, 140 something, 142, you know. Have these extra ones and then go through them. So if you're sitting here with like 40, mods, go through them and say, okay, I want to keep the highest ones that I got. I need to keep a few, a few stamina ones, a few electronic ones just in case. And I want to keep almost every good firearms mod that I need. Because I'm running firearms mod on this one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. So I'm running firearms mod on every single one of these, and 2 of these give me, that's over 1100 skill power. This one's giving me almost 1300 skill power. And there's still more that I can do. As you can see here, like I could, sacrifice some DPS if I wanted to get higher health and higher skill power if I wanted to. But since it ain't by much, it's not worth it. DPS is my main thing because having 105 health makes you tanky as hell. So it's definitely achievable. It's very easy to do, and I know a lot of people are starting out and they're like, okay, look, I can't find no gear sets. I've got a few pieces here. I would like to use them because it's got a better gear score and it's cool. Another thing too is that I was just thinking about this, that if you change your guns, like if I change this AUG and put on this converted, my gear score drops. Because it is also factoring in what weapons that you have. So, but like I said, gear score is just a number. It's basically what these 3 primary things say. Your DPS, health, and skill power. I don't have the highest DPS, by no means, no. I have another build that gets it over 200k, but I've got to work on that build to get the health up better than this. Ultimately, I'd like to see myself at over 200 DPS, close to 200, if not over 200 health, and at least 25,000 skill power. That's like what I'm trying to go to. And it just takes time. But back to what I was saying, starting out, you're not going to start out with these green sets. You're going to have high ends. And there's nothing wrong with that because there's still a lot of high end stuff out there that is really good, just like this holster. So if you want to replicate this build, pause the video where you want to pause it, look at what I'm using. Notice that the big things that you want to remember is that what pieces have what. Most of them are stamina, and I think 2 of them are firearms pieces. And then just get the blueprint, get the materials, and start crafting. Start crafting and spending that time to try to make something better. Get the blueprints. And you can be on your way to having an assassin build and having, glass cannons and other players like, oh, I'm going to take this guy, he's solo or whatever. And they'll be like, oh shit, I can't just down this guy in like a few shots. Like, holy shit, he's surviving, The other thing too is maneuverability in the dark zone, and I'll have another video on tactics to how to survive a 4v1 in the dark zone, and how you can maximize using this assassin build. But like I said, for people that don't have gear sets or do have gear sets that just don't know what to do with them or don't know where to put your points, a lot of people tell me like, look man, I just don't know where to begin. I don't know where to start. And for me, I started out just like I have my second character with stamina, high health. I rather it take more time for me to kill the enemy, but be able to survive longer. So where it might take somebody 2 minutes to kill someone, but if they get caught slipping, which is like they just get assed out, then you're dead. And for me, it's like I can survive. It might take me 4 minutes to kill somebody, but I don't run the risk of dying so quickly or being caught, because if I do get caught, I can still survive. And I think that's more important than trying to overpower somebody, because then you use your tactics and skills to outplay your opponent. And that's what makes the assassin build the most elite build amongst them all. And it really comes down to player skill. Sometimes you are going to be alone in the dark zone. Are you just not going to go? Are you going to hide? Are you going to run from every encounter? Every group of 4, you're going to run and hide from them? I don't. I'm not worried about it. Yeah, they might use explosive rounds in a 4v1 and drop shock turrets like little bitches, but just like in that video that I showed, that didn't stop me from coming back and ruining their day for an hour and taking them all out and making the last guy cry like a little bitch and beg me not to kill him. But that just showed them that don't just pick on anybody in the dark zone, you see, because you come around, you're going to catch an ass whooping. And that's what this build is. It's like you can have multiple builds and switch them out. If you're running with a 4 group and you want to be a glass cannon, do it. If you want to run solo, here's an assassin build. If you want to be the go-to guy on your team, assassin build. The other thing that's important too, and I'll get into the characteristics here because people want to know this. With the AUG, I run a 143 crit damage with a 48% critical hit chance. The other thing that's going to make a big difference, if you can get an SMG damage bonus, that's always better. I mean, if you run SMGs. Skill haste is very important. I don't have any at the moment, but sometimes I like to rock, as much as I can, because that improves how fast your abilities come back. I'll get to that in a little bit. Armor mitigation, one of the biggest key factors, and that's going to change based on the armor rating of your pieces of gear that you're wearing. Mine's at 49%. Would 15% make a difference? Hell yeah, it would. Realistically, you want to try to get the best armor that you can with the highest numbers, so you can hit that 65 cap regardless, even if you have low health. Because there's people out there that are running glass cannons that do have 65k health. I mean, low health, 70k health, whatever, but have the 65% armor mitigation and can take a lot of shots. So it's very important. So firearms mods are important. Running stuff on your stamina is important. Trying to get this armor up. That's what I'm trying to do. Is get the armor up here. Like this one's 434. Come on, that could be way better. 445, that could be way better. 395, that's fucking garbage. When I look at it, I look at this and I say all these 3 pieces right here need to go. They need to change. The stats though, the stats need to stay the same, if not be better. But the armor needs to get. If I could just re-roll the exact same thing and get higher armor, I'd be fine with that, because that just means more armor mitigation. I could go through the different attributes here and tell you what the best attributes are to have. But it depends on, see, I've had to sacrifice, so I really can't change a lot of them. But you want to have critical hit chance or critical hit damage, health, ammo capacity is always a good one to have. I don't need Seeker Mine. That's not doing nothing for me. Protection from elites, I guess that's doing a little something for me. Skill power, of course. Ammo capacity right there. That's 80% more ammo capacity just in those 2 pieces. Then I have pulse critical hit damage, which is very important. And, 9.5% turret duration. So if I do want to drop a shock turret or something, I last a little bit longer. But do I really need it? No. No, I really don't. I would trade it for something else if I could. But since I've used everything to make sure that my build is solid, I sacrifice changing these little things, like the Seeker Mine explosion radius. I hardly ever use that. I mean, I could maybe in the right engagement, but most of the time I don't. So I wish I could change it. But just noticing those things just shows me that there's areas that I can improve to have that 200 plus DPS, 200 health, and 25,000 skill power, if not better. But it just takes time. So how much time do you want to put into it? How much farming do you want to do?
Your attention, please. JTF
And for me,
would like
I've
to
got the
thank
time,
you
and I'm
for
trying to
your
put it in and trying to learn what's the best
Your
to
cooperation is
achieve
appreciated.
the max
Thank
amount
you.
of everything that I want to have. Like I know with the
Your attention, please. There will be a screening of cartoons
converted
children
here.
in room 17 tomorrow morning at 0930
Or not the
hours.
converted, the other one.
Parents are encouraged to attend.
It's 141 and only 30%. So it just depends, you know, what stuff you have. 147, so 28. It all makes a difference. But that's basically the whole build, man. That's the assassin build right there. It's not hard to have what I have. It's a very solid, great build. And it can be improved upon. Now I'm working on my second build, which is the Sentry Call set that I'm working on. And, oh my god, I think I've got a screenshot. I'm going to try to pull it up so I can tell you the stats. Might not have taken a screenshot of it. No, I didn't. No big deal. But is it badass? Oh, hell yeah. It's got over like 200 and I want to say 60, 70 DPS. It's got 95,000 health and it's got like 20,000 skill power. Oh, the thing is fucking, it's awesome. But I need one more Sentry Call set to make it amazing. And I'm going to work on that and try to get it up, because running around with 95,000 health is pretty tough. The armor mitigation would make a big difference with that set. So trying to get the armor up, get the armor up on the pieces, or craft another, some more pieces. And that's going to make a big difference. But there you go. I know this video was kind of long, but there's a lot of points to cover and a lot of points to talk about as far as weapon attachments, mods, most important thing, mod slots on all your gear, and where to begin. What to start out with, you know what I mean? Like, okay, I've got purples, then I'm going to go to high ends, then from high ends I'm going to try to get to a gear set. Or, I'm just going to try to get another high end better. And it's basically all you got to do to it. Once you've got the base set, you're good. You're golden. Once you got the base of what you want to do, all you have to do is just take each piece individually and improve upon it. Trade out this for that. But never sacrifice. You don't have to. I think that if I were to sacrifice to gain more DPS, I would take off maybe 1,000 skill power. I would drop that down to maybe 17, 16. It just depends on. But as I go through each one of my mods here to try to see if I can improve that DPS, nothing's lighting up. See, this one lights up green. And I'm going to change the additional skill power for higher DPS and make it 17. And would I do that? Well, let's see what I would gain. 2,348, so I'd gain one more firearms, and it would take it up to 379. Would that make all the difference? I think I would benefit more by having the extra 1,000 skill power, actually, versus just that one little number plus. So I'm going to keep going down, and no, I don't see anything. Keep going down. I don't see anything. So no. I like where it's at. Ooh, works. And it allows me to... I mean, I just got room to improve on it, man. But those are the best things. What attributes you're running, and basically just where you're putting your points. But yeah, that's the assassin build.